so we're back for part 2 of the fuel tank install on the F150. As you can see, I have it in the garage, which can only mean one thing, and that's if you've been following the 240 videos. The 240 is up and running, driving, the whole 9 yards. So I was able to get that out today. The first fuel tank and fuel pump I installed is working. Here's the tank underneath. I was able to get about 5 gallons of gas in it, enough to get me from my other driveway into the garage. So now I'm going to go ahead. I had to clean out my toolbox in the back. There's what was left remaining in there. And then I still have a bunch of stuff on my bench over here. So I'm going to go ahead now and kind of just straighten up all my tools and get going on getting the bed off, because the tank on the side is still full of gas and I don't feel like messing with it. So I'm going to attempt to just remove the bed and then get to the top of the tank to remove all the fuel out of it. So that's the game plan for right now. I'm going to get stuff cleaned up and then start preparing the bed to come off. Alright, so we got the bed all cleaned out. I was gonna try and grind all the heads off the carriage bolts that are here, but I think what I'll try and do first is drill through them and see if I can be able to hammer them out. Because the gas tanks are right below it, I really don't want to try and grind them off. But if it becomes too difficult to try and drill them out, then I'll resort to grinding them. But for now, I'm just going to attempt to drill them out. So we got all the carriage bolts ground out. I ended up grinding them. Yeah, don't mind that one. I don't know what I'll do with that one. Maybe I won't put one there. I don't know. I don't really feel like trying to fix it. But anyway, so we got all 6 of them out. So now I'm going to go underneath the truck and try and disconnect the tail lights and any other miscellaneous things that are connected to the bed. We're underneath the truck, and it appears that there's only one connector that needs to come out. 2 connectors. This one, which is for the hitch, which looks like it runs through the frame and then up along, which is good. And then this one runs along the back underneath the bed, which goes to the 2 taillights. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and disconnect these 2. Alright, so now I got to take the 3 screws out that hold in the filler neck in the rear that I just finished. And then I'm going to get the lift set up to start lifting this bed up. And then luckily the filler necks are on the same side as the pump for the lift. So I'll be able to push those in as the bed's going up. Hopefully they don't fight me too much, but we'll find out. Alright, bed's up in the air. Now we can really get in here and see what I'm working with. My lift decided to shoot some hydraulic fluid out. I don't know why. It always does that when it gets too high. Whatever. So here we go. This is the tank. Now this filler neck is kind of fucked up. And it's a real pain in the ass to get it aligned when it's in the truck. So getting it back in is going to be fun. But here's the new tank. These are the lines. I got to put the safeties back in and hook up that vent. But now what I can do is pull off this filler neck, get the fuel lines taken off, get the pump disconnected, and I can start pumping out this tank because this tank is full. And yeah. So we drained a lot of the fuel out of the tank. I was able to get about 12-15 gallons out of it. So that's about what I put in it the day I filled it up when it decided to stop working. So now I'll be able to show you guys how to remove these. So these are safety clips on the lines. So these will just have to get pushed off. So we're just going to push these off, which they're kind of a pain in the ass to get off, but there's nothing a little screwdriver can't help you with. So next you got to take your special brake line fittings remover tool. You're just going to stick them in like this and then slide. It'll depress the prongs on the inside. And then you'll be able to pry it off. So on the, let's see if I can get it to focus here. So on the inside, there's little pieces of spring steel and an O-ring. A little difficult to see it because this one's kind of gunky. This one's a little easier to see inside of. So as you can see that little shiny tab there, that's the spring steel that hooks up around the lip of this. Alright, so now we got the two lines off. I'm going to find where the plug is. The electrical connection's right here. This electrical connection just has the one tab on it, unlike the rear tank which had two. Alright, so with the fuel lines off, the fuel pump disconnected, I'm going to try and break the lock ring free while the tank is in and get the pump removed now. I think it'll be a little easier to do it now while it's in the truck and it's secure. I don't have to worry about it flopping around because doing the other tank out of it was kind of a pain in the neck. A little bit of fuel in there. Oh yeah. fuck is it coming out of? This tank is fucking full of fuel. Jesus Christ. Oh, all right. So I just pulled this out of the gas tank. Not really sure what it is. Looks like it was connected to something, maybe the pump, I don't know. But now I'm going to try and get the bolts loose for the straps. They're a little rusted, so hopefully they won't fight me too much. I can just get them out and throw the new tank in. And then after that, we'll go ahead again and disassemble the old pump and put everything else on the new one. So I was going, I got the tank, the new tank, and I laid it out not next to, but underneath the old tank, and it come to find out they're not the same, which really sucks. So the reason I wanted to replace the side tank now was just because I was going to have to take it out anyway, and I knew the rear tank had been leaking, so I figured it was only a matter of time. The tank, I mean, there's some surface rust on it. I mean, whoops. Underneath it's showing its age, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to run with this tank for now. So, my next dilemma is trying to get that stuff out of there. So, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do that. The rest of the tank looks pretty clean. This is the new tank. Now the issue is this top vent is supposed to be over there, and it's like a foot longer than what it's supposed to be. And the whole shape of it's not correct. If at least if the shape matched and would fit in underneath the truck, I would have ran with it, but the filler neck is too far to one side, and it's just not going to work. So this is it. So the new pump is in. I reconnected all the lines. This filler neck clamp I have to tighten now, or else I might be able to get to it if I position it right. The rear tank is all done. Again, this filler neck I gotta have to align just so perfect so that it will actually fit when I drop the bed. But other than that, we're all good to go. So now I'm just gonna get the bed lined up and put some new bolts in it, and that's it.